Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, cubies and newbies. I am Sunshine, and this is the ABCube method for solving Rubik's cubes. I'm the ABCube tutor. Formula A is 4 moves. Formula B is 8 moves, and that's all you need to solve every complexity Rubik's cube. And then it's just a matter of letting the cube dictate for you based on the pieces that you want to move. Formula A brings a piece wherever it is, brings a piece to the top, usually from the front, and Formula B moves 3 pieces around, and that's all you ever need to do. Formula A can be used on the entirety of the first face, but I generally only use it for the corners, for bringing corners to the top, for twisting the corners around, and for the absolute center. The Formula B can be done to everything else, and with, like I said, with just these 2 formulas, you can solve every complexity Rubik's cube. It's not a speed solve method, and it's not a fewest moves method. It's actually kind of clunky and redundant. Redundant is a good thing though, because like I said, Formula A is only 4 moves, easy to learn. Formula B is 8 moves, but because it's done over and over and over again, it's also very easy to learn. I specialize in teaching non-cubers or beginning cubers, but because it is so fun. It is so fun to watch the face of someone who thinks they can't do it. Because, you know, my brother, my cousin, whatever, tried to teach me and I couldn't do it. To be able to watch them suddenly realize that the cube is doing what they want it to do. And that it works for them, and then just the light on their face is it's just so delightful. How does it compare to other cubes? This is the CFOP method that I bought on thecubicle.us. 3 credit size cards, .7 font, I can't tell. Each one of these is a different thing that you can encounter, and then an algorithm on how to solve each thing. Not only do you have to learn, memorize many algorithms, but you have to memorize what each algorithm does, and then what order to use each algorithm. Whereas here's Formula A, 4 moves, here's Formula B, 8 moves, and here's what it does. Here's what it does. Formula A brings a selected color to the top. If you use the bottom row in the right-hand column, it brings your corners to the top. If you use the middle row in the middle column, it brings the centers to the top. Formula B, top row, outside columns, moves 3 corners around. Top row, outside and inside column, moves the corners around, moves the edges around, and 2 inside columns, moves the centers around. So, it's certainly easier to learn, and if it's not the easiest method to learn the 3x3, it is certainly the easiest method to learn the 5x5, because you don't have to. It's not a reductionist method. You don't have to learn the 3x3 and then more things to do the 4, and then more things to do the 5, and then reduce it down. This is a standalone method for the 5x5, and as such, you can find it on Wikipedia on the Professor's Cube. Let's see who's here today. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. All right. I'm going to scramble my cubes again because I haven't been. Normally I do step by step throughout the week, and I advance a step as I go along. But I have been incorporating my Twitch so that I can personalize it to the individual, any individual who wants it. And just let me know. I'm happy to drop the link in chat. And if you have a cube that you want to solve, or a non-cuber friend that wants to learn, or if you just have a cube and want to help me demonstrate how my method works, I can do that. I'm set up to do game capture. on my Twitch. So, Zoom. Hi, School Bus. Okay. School Bus and I have been Zooming. Does anyone else have any requests? Anything you want me to specifically go over or demonstrate or make it be an example before I say yes to School Bus? Because School Bus wants to Zoom with me. If anyone else wants to Zoom, I can Zoom with up to 4 people at a time. Technically, I can Zoom with more than that, but at 4 people, that tiles easily on the screen, and I can see all 4 of you, and I can work with all of you at the same time, because it's, like I said, it's just the A and B, and so I can set this person up and then pause them, set this person up and pause them, and then we can do the method all together. So if anyone else wants to jump in, let me know. Otherwise, I think School Bus wants to Zoom with me. So again, I am more than happy to be interrupted. Just chat with me here in Zoom, and we will do what you want to do as well. But if there's anything you want to demonstrate, anything you want shown, just pop in and say hi. In the meantime, School Bus, I will go ahead and do that with you and anyone else who wants to join. There is the link, but wait, don't click it yet. I have to start the meeting. Don't click it yet. Okay, now you can join. Admit. Okay, hold on. Now let me catch you. There we go. Done. Save. Okay, everybody. This is School Bus, and he's going to help me demonstrate the ABCube. They are going to help me demonstrate the ABCube method for solving Rubik's Cubes. We cannot hear him because Zoom is a party pooper. Zoom wants to charge money before before letting me capture live stream the Zoom, and I'm not doing that yet. But Twitch lets me game capture, so he can chat with me in the Twitch, and that will be just fine. Let's see, move this out of the way. Join with computer audio, sure. Okay. All right, so you guys can hear me here on Twitch, and he's there in Zoom, and I'll ask him questions, and he'll thumbs up or thumbs down to tell me the answer. Yesterday we did the 2x2, which was just the corners. Now, this method works, like I said, on every complexity Rubik's Cube, but regardless of which cube you're working with, every cube that you have has 8 corners. So all of them can be, with no matter which cube you have, we can start with the 8 corners. So each of your cube has 8 corners. Each corner has 3 colors. I start with yellow, so it helps me if you start with yellow as well. But it can be color neutral. But my alpha testers kept telling me to pick a color so that it'd be easier for them to follow me. So we're going to start with yellow. School Bus, have you figured out whether your 3x3 has been is correctly put together, or do you want to work with a 2x2, or do you want to work with a larger cube? This will work on Minxes. Where's my Minx? I have Minxes. You want to work with your 5x5. Okay, but here's the thing. Here's the thing with your 5x5. Number 1, yours is pastel colors, which awesome, by the way. I love it. I wish I had one. But the pastel colors makes it harder for me to see what your colors are on the screen. So now we did are your yellow corners still on top, or do you want to start over again? Your yellow corners are still on top. Okay. All right. So his yellow corners are on top. Let me get there with mine. This is a 4x4. We're going to pretend it's a 5x5. And his yellow corners are on top, so I'm going to match his. This is the first cube, and these are little icky sticky notes. But it's easier for him to follow if mine looks like his than if it doesn't. Sorry, I assumed theirs. Okay, yellow's on top. Now, the next step, each corner has 3 colors, not just 1 color. And so, we're looking, when your yellow is on top, we're going to be looking at the side edges to see if they match one to another. Okay, so my school bus, do your pink still match each other on the side, or did your cube change since the last time I saw it? Okay, pink matches on the side. Okay, so at this point in time, when the corners are match the top, either all 4 corners are going to match to each other already, or none of them will, or one side will. He has one side that does, and his is pink. So I am going to use, here's my pink. Okay, so on his yellow corners have pink on a matching side. Okay. All right. So it doesn't matter if none of the sides match, it doesn't matter how you hold it, but if one side matches, you have to hold it with that matching facing away from you and the yellow still on top. Okay, so you've got your pink facing away from you, yellow still on top. We're going to do Formula B. Formula B is going to use the top row and the left column and the right column. Okay, but pay attention. The first column moves the top from left to right, like so. Okay. Nope, that's not the top. That's the side. Good. From left to right, and then the left up, and then reverse the top, and then the right up, and then reverse down, left down, reverse the top again. Don't rotate your cube, just the top side, and then down. Okay, I didn't follow. Did you? Okay. Now, if you did that, if we did that correctly, then we still have the yellow under your left thumb on the top, and we're going to use Formula A to bring the yellow back to the top again. On all 4 corners. Okay, so that's the bottom row out, right side down, bottom row in, right side up. And again, keep going until yellow's on top on all of your corners. We're not examining the, okay, yellow's on top. You did that, okay. Yellow's on top on all 4 corners. It did not look like you did enough of the Formula A's for that to happen. Okay, check your corners of your yellows now. What does it look like? Do you still have a matching corner? Do you still have the pinks? Are the pinks still? Do the pinks still match? If you're going to talk to me, you got to chat and Zoom. Okay, so your pinks do not still match. Okay, but your yellow's on top. So here's what you're going to do. Yellow's on top, your pink does not match anymore. Okay, so we altered the cube instead of just rotating the top, or we went the wrong direction. We didn't follow the arrows. But that's okay, because your yellow's on top, so I want you to check again. Check the sides of your yellows and see if the sides match. So with the yellows on top, we're going to check the other colors of the yellow corners. Now, either all of them match, none of them match, or one side matches. It has to be one of those 3 things. None of your sides match. Okay, then that's good. Then it doesn't matter which way you hold the cube. Doesn't matter which way you hold it. But as long as yellow's on top. And we're going to do Formula B, which is 8 moves. And then we're going to use formula A to bring the yellows back to the top, which is going to be a multiple of 6 times for formula A. Okay, so hold your cube with yellows on top. Yellows are on top. Okay. Are you doing it? Okay, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. Okay, watch my cue. Watch my hands for a minute, okay? I'm gonna wait for you. Okay, here's what it looked like to me. I could be wrong because mirrored. But here's what it looked like to me. Okay, here, just watch my hands for a second, okay? When I move this, the first move, when I move from the left to the right, then this cube is being protected. So then my left can go up. And then I move it back, and my right can go up. It looks like you did the opposite of that. It looks like what you did was you moved it into the left side and then the right side up, and then into the right side and then the right side up. Okay, I'm going to show you again. I'm just picking a random cube. Okay, when I move this corner over to this side, when I move the top corner from the left to the right, my left is my right. This one is protected, and I can go up with my left. And then when I move from the right to the left, then I go right up. It looks to me like you moved the corner into the left and then the left up, and then into the right and the right up. Okay? So that is the top row is going you move the top row opposite to which way you wanted to be moving it. Okay? So let's just practice formula B for a few minutes. Okay, never mind. Ignore what your cubes look like. We're just going to practice doing formula A for a few times. Okay, so watch my hands. So this is my left column. This is my right column. So I first start by this cube is going to be protected. So I start by moving it away, and then while it's over here, this left comes up, and then I move it back over, and then my right comes up. Okay, so this cube is being protected, and then down and down. So the top three corners move, but this one did not. Now what it looks like you did, and I could be wrong because I'm looking at you mirrored, it looks like what you did is you moved this piece in and then the corner up and the column up, and then back over here and the column up. That's the opposite of what we want to do. Okay, so again, as we move this piece over, this column comes up, and then as we move this piece over, this column comes up. And then same thing to down, same thing to down. So one of your corners is being protected with all the movement. Again, top, right, left to right, and then the left goes up, top, right to left, and then the right goes up. And then the same thing, top, left to right, and then the left goes down, top, right to left, and then the right goes down. Okay. So let's work on formula B regardless of whether your cube is what your cube looks like. Let's just practice formula B. So slide up, slide other up, slide down, slide down. So it's the top row, always the top row, and 2 columns. And like I said, there's one of your corners is being preserved. So you move it away from the action, and then that card goes up, and then you move it away from the other action, and that second goes up. And then away, down, back, down. and the rest of your cube stays the same, but this corner has also stayed this, and these cubes have missed. So let me show you what that does. Okay, from a solved cube, that's what this does. Away, and then left up, and then right to left, and right up. Right, left to right, left down, right to left, right down. Okay, and that moves these three corners. So we're just going to practice Formula B for a little bit. Anyone else wants to join in or chat, you are welcome to. Just tell me that you want to join, and I'll repost the link if it doesn't work for you. Okay, it looks like School Bus is doing Formula A. He's doing the bottom row in the right column. But the last Formula A he did, he didn't do move the bottom first, he moved the column first. So before we care what the cube looks like, just practicing the formulas themselves is really good. How are you doing? Hi. What does your cube look like now? Okay, so it just looks scrambled. That's okay. Scrambling's the hardest part, and you did it on accident. So that's just awesome. Oh, you left? Oh, okay. Come back when you want to. It's okay. But in the meantime, if you still hear me, just take your cube and just practice following the arrows, and without worrying what the cube looks like, just get comfortable muscle memory with the arrows. It's okay. It's okay that it's scrambled. I do that too sometimes, but like scrambling is the hardest part. Okay, so he left, so I'm going to go back to the cubing channel. But if anyone else wants to join, I'm happy to work one-on-one with you guys, or one-on-4, up to 4 with you guys, and that's okay. School Bus, come back anytime you want to. It's okay to mess up. Everybody here has made a mistwist. All right. So if he comes back, we'll do that again. In the meantime, quick overview. Formula A is Formula A is 1 row, 1 column, usually bottom row, right column, sometimes middle row, middle column. And Formula B is the top row and 2 columns. And this one is what happens when the top row and the 2 columns are the outside columns. Okay, if you're going to do it again, so slide, where every other move is horizontal, and every horizontal is the reverse of the one before it, and then for every left there's an up, for every left there's a right, for every up there's a down. So Formula B protects the piece in your cube in your upper left corner. Move it away, up, back, up, away, down, back, down. Okay. Once has the effect of going clockwise, twice has the effect of going counterclockwise, and the third time puts it back to however you began. Down, down. So top row outside columns moves the corners, top row and an outside and an inside column moves the edges around. And you don't have to memorize which edges do which columns do which pieces. You just have to select the piece that you want to move, and I'm looking for my marker. So you have to select the piece that you want to move, and 2 columns are where it's going to land and where it begins. So if it's this one, I move it away from the action, where it's going to land comes up, move it back into the action, and where it is the second up, and then continue away, down, in, down, and it will always move 3 pieces. Okay, it's always the rest of the cube is always only ever going to be the same, and so once moves it in this direction, twice is going to have the effect of moving it in the other direction, and then once more we'll put it back to start. So here's how you line it up. Make sure the corners match the front, and then the top determines which direction it's going, and then away up, in up, away down, in down. Okay, and then 2 center columns move center pieces around. So you pick a piece. I've lost my marker. Let's pick another marker. This is the stuff, I don't know what it's called, but it's the stuff that we used to put posters on our wall back in the 60s and 70s so they wouldn't have thumbtacks in their wall. So you select a piece that you're going to work with, okay, and then you're going to follow that piece. So the top row, horizontal, is to line it up so something advantageous will come down, and then you follow the piece that you want to move. So you go up, slide the top row till it's in a different column, 1/4 turn, and then that becomes your second column, and then you reverse, down, reset the top, and we've moved 3 pieces. It looks like I moved 2, but 2 of them were green, so you couldn't tell the difference. But let me demonstrate that you can tell the difference. If I want to move this yellow up, line it up to here, I go up and move the yellow into a different column, second up, and then reverse, down, and so this yellow from here did go up here, but the green didn't come here, it moved here, and this one moved over. So you're always moving 3 pieces. All right. I hope school bus comes back, because we did the 2x2 yesterday, and that is awesome. All right, so regardless of what cube you have, every cube has 8 corners. So working with those 8 corners, this one is not scrambled. All right. Okay. Let's start. When I'm teaching, I teach all 4 cubes at the same time, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5 at the same time, because there's a mental breakdown that goes from moving from a smaller cube to a larger cube. The brain has the effective lying to you and saying, that one looks harder, so I'm going to stop where I am, stop while I'm ahead. And so I stopped starting with the 2 and the 3. And I started, if I'm only teaching with 1 cube, it's always the 5. If I'm teaching with, other than that, the first lesson is always just Formula A and Formula B. It's just getting comfortable with that, working with just the corners. So it's a matter of ignore every piece on your cube except for the corners. It's easier to do that when it's a 2x2. But we're looking only at the corners, and we've selected a color. We're going to look only at the yellows. Everything else we're ignoring. We're only seeing the corners. We're only seeing the yellows. So here's one. Here's a yellow corner. Okay. I'm going to, I hold it in my hand with that yellow corner, yellow side up and under my left thumb and on top. And then I look at the front as if it's a spreadsheet with rows and columns. And and we're only ever using 1 row, and the arrow represents the slice that we're moving, and the line represents the rest of the cube, so we're only ever moving 1 slice at a time. To bring the corners to the top, we're working with the bottom row and the right column, because I'm right-handed. I could have done it left-handed, but I'm right-handed. So this corner under my left thumb is correct. We're going to make the rest of the cubes match it. Okay, and so we're looking at the cube under my right thumb, and again we're looking for yellows. So if there's a yellow on this corner, then Formula A will bring it to the top. If there's not, then I look under the corner underneath it, and as long as there's a yellow on one of these 2, A will bring it to the top. If there's not either one of those, I rotate the bottom by 1/4 turns until there is, because there's 4 yellows, so you're going to find a yellow. It's either going to be here or one of these here. So we've got a yellow on top. We've got a yellow. If we know where the yellow is. Formula A is going to bring it to the top. Okay. So bottom row, right column. Okay. I start by this cube's going to come to the top, so I'm going to start by moving it away from the action. The space where it's going to land comes down. The cube goes into the space, and the cube in the space goes back to the top. Okay. Let's do that again. Out, down, in, up, and what's happening is these two are switching and twisting themselves around as they do. 6 times, so you should back to however you began. So 5 times or less is going to get this yellow to the top. Out, down, in, up. Out, down, in, up. We have a yellow on top. Okay, so when the yellow's on top, we're going to hold the cube stable. Doesn't really matter on the first 4 corners, but the second 4 corners are solved the exact same way, so it does matter. Okay, we're going to top and rotate that over so that it's now being protected under my left thumb. And this one is not yellow on top, so we're going to work with this one. So if there's a yellow here or here, formula A will bring it to the top. That's out, down, in, up. Okay. Yellow's on top, hold the cube stable, slide the top over to the left, and you can find another corner that you can continue working with. We're doing the same, just formula A, until yellow's on top on all of our corners. So if there's a yellow here or here, then A will bring it up. If not, I have to rotate the bottom by 1/4 turns until the answer is yes. So there's still not yellow there. There's a yellow somewhere in this corner, somewhere on one of these 2 corners. Formula A will bring it to the top. And just keep over and over again until it comes to the top. When yellow's on top on all 4 sides, that's the first goal. And I generally say, okay, great, now do it on this one, and now do it on this one. And I work just with formula A until someone is completely comfortable with formula A. And so when the yellow's on top on all of the corners, then I say, okay, now the corners have 3 colors, not just one, so we're going to look at the other colors, but we're only looking at the yellow corners. So we're going to look to see if the sides match themselves on your corners. We're ignoring the centers, we're ignoring the edges, we're only looking at the corners. So green equals green, good job, that one matches. Orange does not equal blue, red does not equal orange, and blue does not equal red, so one side matches. And at this point in time, one of 3 things has always happened. Either all 4 sides match to each other, or none of them match, or one side matches. Okay? If the one side matches, then you're going to hold with your yellow on top, yellow corners on top, you're going to rotate the cube so that the matching face, the matching side, is away from you, as if they were headlights of a car that you're driving in. So if none of the sides matches, it doesn't matter which way you hold it, you're going to do the same thing, whether it's none or whether it's one. If it's one, they're facing away. And then it's the top row and the outside columns. And what's happening, 3 of these corners are going to move around, but this one's going to stay where it is. So we're paying attention to this corner, okay? And so the first move is we move it horizontally, and then the left comes up. And then we move it horizontally again, the other direction, and then the right goes up. Again, over, down, okay? The rest of the cube, you can't tell, but the rest of the cube has been unaffected, and the only things that have moved are these 3 corners, okay? And we already know, so that's formula B, 8 moves. We already know how to bring the yellow to the top, so we go right back into formula A to bring the yellow to the top. Out, down, in, up. Out, down, in, up. And then slide the top to preserve this piece. And we'll continue on this one. Keep the cube stable. Doesn't really matter so much the first 4, but it matters for the second 4, so we just do it the same way each time. So again, formula A brings us to the top, up, down, and twice it's going to happen. And then rotate the top, keep the cube stable, continue on this one, out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. Okay, and there we go. Yellow came back to the top, and now we check the corners match each other. Okay, so the first 4 corners are done. Now we're going to put them face down and abandon them, because formula A and formula B does not affect them, it only affects the top. And we're looking for now the opposite color, that's opposite yellow. It's the color that all 4 of your top corners have in common, and it's not a color that touches yellow, because of the nature of the cube. So it's white, they all have white. So with yellow face down, we're going to bring white to the top. Some of them will already be on top, some of them won't, it doesn't matter. So we're going to use formula A to bring the whites to the top, and we're not going to rotate the cube until white's on top on all 4 corners. So we go out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. When the white comes to the top, we pause, but we don't rotate the cube. We rotate the top row to protect that cube and continue with the next one that wants to be twisted. So out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. We can see that the yellow is dancing around, but we're ignoring the yellow because it doesn't matter yet. Okay, slide the white away, continue with this one. And if we look at the yellow's mid-cycle on this, we can say, oh no, we messed up, we got to start again. You don't really, okay? As long as you haven't twisted your cube, the yellows are going to dance around, but once the whites are on top on all four corners, we will look and see that the yellows have been unaffected. They've danced around, but they've resolved themselves. So the first four corners are happy to each other. The second four corners, we're going to check the sides now. Green equals green, but red does not equal blue. Orange does not equal red, and blue does not equal orange. So when one side matches, we hold it facing away. We do Formula B, top row, outside columns, and this corner is going to be unaffected. The rest of them are going to change. So we move this corner away from the left side, then the left comes up, and then we move this corner away from the right side, and the right side goes up, and then away, down, and away, other one, down. So this one has not been moved. And then we can Formula A to bring the whites back to the top again. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up, slide, out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up, slide, out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up, and okay, when the white's on top on all four corners, we check the yellows are still happy, and now we look, A equals A, B, red equals red, blue equals blue, they all match. So we rotate the top row until the top and bottom match, and the 8 corners are now complete. I'm going to go ahead and close the meeting because the school bus didn't come back, and that's okay. I hope the school bus will come back again. Okay, so now your 8 corners are all correct to each other. It's a good way to set the center if you want to, because you haven't. But if you don't do that, we can do it later, and it's just fine. And the way to set the center without affecting the edges, that if you don't want to mess up the edges, the way to do that would be to move the centerpiece. Apply Formula A to the centerpiece. So you move this piece out, the space down, the piece in, and the space back up again. For example, so out, down, in, and up. Okay. All right, you guys. That's it for today. Thank you to School Bus for helping me demonstrate. And if anyone else wants to join the Zoom another day, let me know. So first step on whatever cube you has the 8 corners. We do the 8 corners on that step. We do 8 corners using Formula A, brings it to the top, B moves to move the pieces around. And the thing is that A and B is all you need for all the rest of the cubes as well. You'll notice there's not a parity algorithm. That's because parities are a lie. You can play with them all you want to, but they are caused by one thing and one thing only, and therefore they can be uncaused by the same thing, by undoing the same thing. They're caused because one of the center column, the center slice, is a quarter turn off. Here's an example of a parity. Okay, this piece wants to go here, and this piece wants to go here. The rest of the cube looks solved. Okay, but the Formula B always moves 3 pieces around, and there's only 2 pieces that you want to move. If I move these 2 plus another one, then there'll still be 2 pieces that you want to move. So parity can look like a lot of different things. But what caused it is the slice that touches the parity. That would be this one, or this one, or this one, depending on, it's the slice between the corner and the center. The slice that touches the parity is a quarter turn off. And for that slice, okay, right now on this slice, 2 of them are correct and 2 of them are incorrect, but if I move that slice 1/4 turn either way, 1 will be correct, ignoring the centers. 1 will be correct, and now 3 are incorrect. And you have an algorithm that'll fix those, but you can also fix them with Formula B. But resolving the edges in this format means the parity has poof disappeared, and it's a lot easier to do a single quarter turn when the parity shows up, rather than waiting till the end and then doing your long parity algorithm, which I don't know how long your parity algorithm is or how many you have, but this guy, the first guy to set the record for the cube, he can solve the parity in 10 moves. So if your parity algorithm is more than 10 moves, there's an easier way to do it. But regardless of the 10 moves, it can be solved with a single quarter turn and then redone it. So that's it. That is the overview. Thank you for joining me today. Anybody have any questions or comments, wants to say bye? Thank you for joining me, you guys. And I will be back here tomorrow. I'm here weekdays. I'm here weekdays and Saturdays for 9 a.m. And I'm also here Friday evenings as well. So if you're on the other side of the world and you're asleep when I'm streaming, you can join me on Fridays. So that's it. Everybody go have a wonderful day. Go be nice to yourself, drink water, get some sunshine, and be happy because you deserve it. So bye everybody. I'll be back tomorrow.